and welcome to another episode of the Coach Shyiak Show. Your usual host, Jordan Myers, is unable to make it today. So representing UA's college radio station, KRUA 88.1 FM, I'm sports reporter Pearl Grace Rasmussen. And of course, in the studio is Coach Shyiak. How are you doing today, Coach?
I'm doing great. How about you?
Good. I'm doing very well.
Awesome.
So it's been a few weeks since we last had you in the studio. You were on the road for it, but how was your Thanksgiving?
Very quiet. We're actually
Very
down
quiet.
in Bemidji, and it was pretty much a ghost town at the hotel, but the guys got a chance to relax a bit, and it was very cold down there, but again, we weren't around family and friends. We just had a kind of a quiet night down at the hotel in Bemidji.
Right on. So this past week, the team took on Bemidji State. Friday night, the team picked up a point with a 2-2 overtime against the Beavers. This was a second game in a row to pick up a point by tying. What could have the team done better to get the second point of the night?
Well, we could have got one more goal than them, I guess, but I guess if you were to capture the overall weekend, I thought there was two of our better games on the road on back-to-back nights. We've struggled previous to that on the Friday nights where we had no jump, unable to make plays for whatever reason why. But I thought we played very well, got the first goal, and for about 60 minutes there, I thought we played fine. I thought maybe what have made the difference is obviously trying to score on the power play, but we did have great chances. We had, I think, 8 or 9 shots in 4 or 5 opportunities, and we had some quality looks, and I thought you got to give credit to their goaltender. I thought he came up with some big saves. So if there's a play or two to make a difference, it could have been a power play goal, but I thought generally speaking the guys played pretty good on Friday night.
Good, that's glad to hear. So Saturday night, Scott Allen, who's leading in scoring, had 2 goals and assists to help the Wolves bounce back from a 4-1 deficit to tie it up. What was the team's morale after the back-to-back goals from the Beavers?
Well, I think we obviously we went down there to get some points, and Saturday night we dug ourselves a hole in the first period. They got some quick goals on us. I think it was 2-0, 5 or 6 minutes into the game. But I thought our guys responded well, and we got 1 goal. That they got another goal. I think they obviously had a 3-goal lead, but our guys stayed the course and kind of chipped away at it, and came back and got 3 unanswered goals. And I think in the second and third period, we were the better team, and I thought we had them on the ropes and were the better team. And certainly I thought, and I think if you talk to the guys, we thought we deserved more than a point or try to get the 2 points. Unfortunately, we had a turnover late in the game in a 4-on-4 situation, and they came back and executed. You got to give them credit. But again, I thought our play was good. We limited. They only had 6 chances on the night, and they scored on 5 of those. We had some defensive breakdowns that led some easy looks at the net. But as far as our quality scoring chances and showing that we could battle back on the road, I think that's a positive. And the teaching point for us is to be consistent for 60 minutes. We can't take segments off our game plan, and if we do, that comes back and haunts you, and I think that's what kind of happened on Saturday night.
Definitely. So Allen, Tatchell, Gellert, Petit, Sproul, Lease, and Caldwell, Roy, and Bailey all were contributors to scoring against Minnesota. How have the lines changed over the past week? If so, how?
Well, we haven't had a practice yet. We're starting today. We had 1 injury with Brett Cameron, so it'll change the lineup a little bit. But it'll be very similar to what we had on Saturday night. We still got a couple guys that are nursing some injuries, so we'll have more of a feel of that by Thursday.
Right, and Brett will be out for the season.
He's going to be out. He fractured his collarbone, his clavicle, and he'll be out till after Christmas anyways.
And did he do that during a game or a practice?
No, it was in the game on Friday night. He took a hit along the boards there, yep.
I see. How have the lower classmen stepped up their game while on the ice?
Good. I think we have to play a strong, structured team game with everybody chipping in, and I think for the most part, a lot of the underclassmen have made the transition. Obviously Blake Tatchell's producing, and Lease and Williams and Severud have been chipping in, and I think guys like Murphy and Trupp, they're certainly contributing in their role, but there's still more to give. But I think for the most part, they're doing everything they possibly can, and they've made the transition. But we're a team that has to do everything by committee, and everybody's got to contribute on every single night, on every single shift. And
Right.
I think we've seen segments of our game when everybody's doing that, but we still have to be a little bit more consistent in that area.
With a more of a lower classman scoring or getting points, how will this help the team the rest of the season and into the next season?
Well, anytime you get your underclassmen contributing, I think it's a positive thing. And
Right.
But you need both your underclassmen and upperclassmen to help out. And it's been kind of spot duty on any given night. There's one or two guys, and the second or third night down the road, there's another group of guys, and we need all 20 guys who's playing on that given night to contribute it in their own ways. And I think there's some other guys that need to step up and contribute in the goal scoring or offensive
Right.
production area. And I think if we do that, it'll help us win some more games.
Definitely, I agree. So this weekend, the next home game will be the weekend during finals. Do you think that this will affect the players' mentality during the game?
No, I
No.
think the guys are signed up for the program. They know they got to have proper time management, and when they're in the classroom and need to study, they need to be focused on that. And when we're practicing playing games, they need to be focused on the ice. So
Right.
it's a big weekend for us. We got to find a way to get obviously some points against a very good St. Cloud team, but I don't think the studies are going to distract them from playing Friday and Saturday night.
Will the practices be the same regarding the finals week?
For the most part, yeah.
For the most part.
We usually practice in the afternoon, but during exam week, we might have to alter it a little bit.
All right. We'll stick around. We'll go to a quick commercial break, but afterwards, we'll talk about some more hockey.
It's Saturday night and you're out for a good time. Maybe you had a couple of drinks, a couple of drags, or washed something down. But man, I wouldn't do that if I were you. You take a toke or a swig of something and get in your car, you ain't gonna have nothing but the blues. Hey man, I tried to tell you, impaired driving is a dead end.
If you seek the ultimate in Japanese cuisine, enter the garden and all pleasure will be revealed. Chong's Tokyo Garden. The woman who made other eateries famous now has her own restaurant where excellence coexists with the warmth of home and belonging. Chong's brings you premium quality sushi and a connoisseur selection of sake for the modest budget. For a unique dining experience that satisfies completely and yet leaves you craving more, surrender to the pleasures of the garden. Chong's Tokyo Garden, 550 West Tudor Road.
Yo, come on, move this. I like big butts and I cannot lie.
Music that makes you feel good.
Alaska is moving.
Moving 1057.
Y'all ready for this?
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Welcome back to the Coach Shyiak Show. I am your host, Pearl Grace Rasmussen, fill in for Jordan Myers. And in the studio with me is Coach Dave Shyiak. So these past couple of weeks have been filled with a lot of on and ice happenings. Scott Warner was promoted to assistant captain with Matt Bailey and Captain Chris Crowell. Tell us about the decision and why did you choose Warner?
No, well, first of all, we got a strong leadership group. There's a good core of upperclassmen, and We have good leaders, obviously, in Chris and Matt. We just thought we wanted to create some balance by adding a guy that plays defense just to help our core. And Scotty's been a leader, and he certainly has great respect in the locker room, and he's one of our toughest competitors, and he's good in the locker room, and he's good in the classroom. So we thought it'd be a perfect fit, and what it does, it creates balance, but it just kind of adds to our leadership group, and we just thought he would be a great addition.
And for deciding who is assistant captain and captain, is there a time limit to decide on this?
No,
just whenever?
You can do it at any time. You can do it at any time. We just wanted to play it out a little bit and see how, if anybody stood out early in our practice sessions and in the camp, and you talk with the upperclassmen and your existing captains and kind of get kind of a feel and pulse of what's going on in the locker room and who has respect and who's doing things the right way. And you talk with our staff, and everybody's conclusions thought that Scotty would be the right fit to put an A on his jersey.
Yeah. And so it was announced earlier this month that Alex Pickering will be retiring from hockey due to multiple concussions. This was hard as a coach to lose an upperclassman. Was this hard as a coach to lose an upperclassman due to the concussions?
Yeah, it is. You feel for a kid. I think with Andrew's situation, he's worked so hard. Last year, he was the person that got hit with a puck. He was blocking a shot, get hit with his in his ear area, and was out for quite some time. And then he rehabbed throughout the summer and regained what he needed to regain, and got back to some strength in some other areas of his game. And then I think it was the first 2 weeks or 3 weeks in the camp, he got his first concussion. And then he got the green light to play, I think, a month after that. And I think it was his second or third practice, he got his second concussion. So your health is the most important thing.
Oh, definitely.
And to continue your studies. And he just thought it was time. If right now he's having a tough time, in his classes as far as reading and doing homework and all that. But he got through it last year, and he'll get through it again. But he wants to get his degree and get his health in order. And unfortunately, he had just retired from the game, which is difficult. And it's difficult for a coach as well, because you want to see kids play and try to achieve their dreams of continuing to play Division I hockey. Unfortunately, I think it's a good decision for Andrew right now. You got to take care of your health and your studies first.
Absolutely. And so how will the team continue to help Pickering now that he isn't playing?
You just have a strong support group, and if there's anything he needs from us, you make sure that's taken care of. And our athletic department's been super as far as handling what needs to be handled. And he's got tutoring services available for him if he needs it. And he's been down that road before, and our department's been super with it to help him achieve the grades that he wants to achieve. And as far as his teammates, they're always there for positive support.
Yeah. Last weekend against Minnesota, Brett Hammond sustained a fractured collarbone. How did this happen?
I think it was just a loose puck along the boards in the offensive zone. He went to go get it, and he got kind of turned around. It was in kind of an awkward position, and he got hit from almost, I'd say, somewhat from behind or from the side. And shoulder went into the boards at kind of a bad angle and snapped his collarbone there. So, unfortunately, he's an important player for us. But the positive thing is it's before Christmas. He's got probably a couple months for him to get back into the lineup, and we can certainly use him down the stretch.
So how long is he out for?
Well, this month and probably, I would say, all of January. So we'll say beginning of February would be the earliest possible return. But sometimes those things have a chance to heal a little bit quicker, and we'll see.
Are there any other injuries on the home front going on this weekend?
Nothing of real serious. Just those two guys right now. Some minor aches and pains, and guys just kind of deal with them on a day-to-day basis.
I see. Well, we'll go to a quick commercial break, but stick around for an interview with equipment manager Patrick Robinson.
Lead paint poisoning affects 1 million children today. If you're pregnant or have young children and your home was built before 1978, you could be at risk. Learn how to protect your family. To find your home's danger zones, the health effects, or just to find help, log on to leadfreekids.org.
Are you ready to ride? It's time for you to meet the new 2013 Polaris lineup at Marita Sea and Ski Alaska Power Sports.
The Rush, the IQ Shift, the Indy, the RMK, the LXT.
You know Polaris has the sled you want.
The sled you crave.
Nothing down. No interest for 12 months OAC.
Plus, Marita will pump up your dividend. Get $1,000 in accessories with your PFD at Marita Sea and Ski Alaska Power Sports.
Feeding the team? Nothing compares to Pizza Hut's one and only stuffed crust pizza. The only pizza with delicious cheese baked right into the crust. Choose your favorite toppings or one of our many specialty pizzas like the Meat Lovers Pizza. Pizza Hut's stuffed crust pizza available only at Pizza Hut.
When you're craving wings, only authentic Pizza Hut Wing Street wings will do. Choose traditional, crispy bone-in, or boneless, and dive in to 8 and 10 sauces like Buffalo Burnin' Hot or Garlic Parmesan. Bold, delicious Wing Street wings, only at your Pizza Hut.
Welcome back to the Coach Shyiak Show. I am your fill-in host, Pearl Grace Rasmussen, and now we have a new addition in the studio. I'm with Equipment Manager Patrick Robertson. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing great.
Good.
How are you?
I'm doing fabulous, thanks. So what does your job entail?
What does my job, the magical question.
Magical question.
Well, it's right there in the title. I'm the head equipment manager.
Mm-hmm.
So I essentially manage the equipment, but I'm in charge of procuring all the equipment, all the upkeep equipment, sharpen a lot of skates. I do a lot of laundry, really good at that. Pressing the start button.
Even folding?
That. Yeah, I fold
Even
towels
folding?
probably like 4 times a day, so I'm pretty good at it. I got a good system down, real quick. I could probably enter a contest and win. If there's such a thing out there, I got it.
Probably. So. And so how long have you been doing this?
This is my 8th season. I've been on this ride with head coach Dave Shyiak since he started here. He was I was his first hire when he got here, got on campus, set his family up in a house, and then he hired me. I had real long hair at the time, told me to snip it, and we got going from there. So.
Right on. And so are you a big hockey fan?
I am. I'm a hockey fan. I grew up playing. I was a very mediocre hockey player growing up.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up right here in Anchorage, on the west side of town. Went to West High, class of 2000. Go Eagles! Like I said, I was a mediocre hockey player. I was a better soccer player. Played a little junior college soccer. I came back here, started working at a hockey shop. Played Against Sports here in Anchorage. Little plug for them. And then I got the job here at UAA. So yeah, local boy did good. I've been a fan of UAA hockey ever since I was a little kid. My mom and dad, my grandpa and grandma had season tickets. I used to go to games at the Sports Center when I was a baby before they moved over to Sullivan. So I've been following the team for a long time.
And I am a big hockey fan as well. I love the Aces. Do you follow them?
Not as much.
Not as much?
They're kind of a big competition for us, honestly. We have some ex-players that play from them that I'm still keep in touch with. We work kind of hand in hand with them since we share the same building. But it's kind of two different beasts, and honestly, they kind of are our biggest competition in for fans and such in this town, because for some reason fans can only support one team at a time, which I don't find believable, but I guess that's the facts. So.
And so tell me about working with the Seawolves team and interacting with them.
It's great. It's interesting.
It's interesting. Tell me about that.
Well, I keep getting older, and these guys stay the same age, and it's funny to kind of see the age gap. When I first started, I was 22, and I was right in the same age gap as them. I liked all the same movies and music, and that was kind of tough to start because they didn't really want to listen to somebody who's the same age. It's gotten a little better as I gotten older, but now the age difference is starting to, and I shake my head a lot more and say, those darn kids a lot more. So I'm getting become an old man there, but it's fun. It's very interesting. It's a tight-knit group. A hockey team is like a family, and
Right.
especially in the locker room. It's just one of those things that people don't really know what goes on until you experience it. So it's pretty good. I enjoy it.
Definitely. And so do you travel with the team?
I do. I travel with the team. I usually stay late at night before a road trip and pack everything up, and then get there early in the morning. We load everything up, and then we get going. But traveling is great. It's fun traveling across the nation and seeing different places, seeing different schools and different crowds, and it's fun.
Yeah, good. Well, that's all the time we have with equipment manager Patrick Robertson. We'll take a quick commercial break, but after a round, we'll have some emails with Coach after the break.
If you seek the ultimate in Japanese cuisine, enter the garden and all pleasure will be revealed. Chong's Tokyo Garden. The woman who made other eateries famous now has her own restaurant where excellence coexists with the warmth of home and belonging. Chong's brings you premium quality sushi and a connoisseur selection of sake for the modest budget. For a unique dining experience that satisfies completely and yet leaves you craving more, surrender to the pleasures of the garden. Chong's Tokyo Garden, 550 West Tudor Road.
Hey.
Ready to go?
Yeah, but the fire's not out.
Close enough.
Close enough? If it's too hot to touch, it's too hot to leave. I mean, the next thing you know, you've torched our whole neighborhood.
Which is why we're not going anywhere?
Exactly. 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by humans.
Only you can prevent wildfires.
Central Plumbing claims to have the most knowledgeable staff in the business. Let's find out. What's a shark bite fit?
It's a new style fitting to connect copper, plastic, and PEX tubing together.
Do you have a spiral vent?
And that's how you assemble a tank tee for a well extra pressure tank.
Man, these guys are good.
At Central Plumbing and Heating, we're ready to help you with all your plumbing needs. We can show you exactly what you need to get the job done. Central Plumbing and Heating. Why go anywhere else?
In world news, scientists have announced that they have discovered the cause of global warming. Satellite imagery has pinpointed the location is coming from Alaska.
At Central Plumbing's Heatland, you'll find everything you need to keep your home or business warm. We have fireplaces and wood-burning stoves in the latest designer styles, fuel-efficient oil and gas heaters. We carry energy-conserving hot water heaters and furnaces. So stop by today. Central Plumbing's Heatland, bringing warmth to Alaska.
Welcome back to the Coach Shyiak Show. I'm your fill-in host, Pearl Grace Rasmussen, and back in the studio I have Coach Shyiak. And so we're going to do a little bit of viewer emails. So I have David from Anchorage asks you in your hockey career, have you ever suffered a concussion? And what was the worst injury from your career?
Well, back when I played, I think they weren't diagnosed as frequently as they are now. Kids just kind of play through them. And you kind of thought of it as just kind of a minor headache here and there. So I probably had a concussion or two, but it wasn't diagnosed that way. But if I were to had to pick kind of the worst injury I had, was probably one of two things. I had a dislocated elbow at one time, and then I had a lung contusion where I blocked a shot with my lungs. So
wow.
A couple, but not long term.
Do you want to tell me about those injuries? Like how that happened?
One was from blocking a shot, and the other one, I tried to hit a guy and he ducked and I went flying into the boards. So.
Wow. And were you out quite some time from those?
I think it was a good month or two anyways. I can't remember. It was quite a few years ago.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think everybody kind of experiences an injury.
Some kind of injury.
Of some sort.
Right.
During their career anyways.
Absolutely. And so another email question. Edmund from Anchorage asks, what does puck luck mean?
Puck luck.
Puck luck.
When the puck luckily goes in the net when normally it wouldn't. I think it takes good teams to create some puck luck, and it's just a matter of throwing some pucks on net, and sometimes they find their way in when they shouldn't. And there's a lot of lucky goals that are scored throughout the year, and sometimes when you get some momentum and some mojo going, the puck just kind of seems to find your way. And we talk about creating our own puck luck, and that's just by putting pucks at the net and having bodies there. And again, it's just a lucky goal that normally wouldn't go in the net.
And from your seasons here at UA, can you think of any seasons that you've had major puck luck?
Well, I can't particularly pick out a season, but or games, but I just know there's been games in the past throughout the years where we've had some lucky goals, but
right.
I can't pick one season or the other, My memory's not that good, sorry.
Neither is mine, that's all right. And so Chase from Wasilla asks you, is a 5-on-5 or a 4-on-4 better situation for the team?
It kind of depends on the makeup of your team. I think 4-on-4 opens up the ice a little bit more, and if you got good skating, skilled hockey team, obviously there'd be an advantage there. And sometimes teams make up or better 5-on-5, and it depends on the makeup of your team. And at some teams it's better 5-on-5, some teams it's 4-on-4.
And regarding your team, which one?
I think a little bit of both. I think we have some guys that can make some things happen 4-on-4, and 5-on-5. Obviously, we do some real good things.
Well, thank you, Coach. That's all the time we have here for this week's edition of the Coaches Show. But don't forget to go down to Sullivan Arena this Friday and Saturday to cheer on the guys against Minnesota. Students, don't forget to bring your Wolf cards for free admission. The puck drops at 7:07 both nights. Until next time, I'm your host, Pearl Grace Rasmussen.